Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Facebook Live here. It's too nice outside. I tried to find good lighting, but like it's either like I'm squinting because there's sun's in my eyes, or I'm like right here in a little bit of the shadows. So I figured the shadows would be the better the better route to take here. So I am here to do the live Q&A. Happy New Year. Excited to be able to do the first one of these of the new year, just kind of answering questions. So like I usually do, I have taken some questions beforehand, just on my page and in some groups. I've got 4 questions to start off. And as I go through these, if anybody has questions, just comment them, and I will answer them here live. And if you see this later and you have a question, just comment, and I'm happy to answer just in the comments later too. All right, so let's see. Starting out, Dennis Lane asked me, "Why do you work out?" That is so that's a new one for me. Like I don't know that I've actually been asked that before, so that's pretty interesting. Why do I work out? Well, I mean, there are multiple reasons. Number one, I would say that everything that I do in life is made better by the fact that I work out. So everything. I mean, the fact that I believe I'm a better dad. I believe I'm a better husband. I believe I'm a better Christian. I believe I'm a better person who sells furniture. I believe I'm a better everything because I work out, because it's not for a lot of reasons. But one of them is because I'm, when you take care of yourself physically, especially, and I'm biased here, but especially if part of that is strength training, you can handle everything you can handle a lot more of the things life throws at you without it being such a struggle and such a hassle. You can be useful to other people in ways that you can't if you are not like stronger or more physically capable and things like that. Aside from just the direct things that physical fitness helps with, it also, I mean, all of it's connected, like our physical health is connected to our mental health, it's connected to our emotional health, all these kind of things. And so our body's a system, I think so many times we isolate it. We think physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health, all these kind of things. But really a lot of this stuff is so connected. And when you get like one of them kind of on the way up, the others will come up a little bit too. And of course you have to work on each thing directly. But for me personally, that's the main reason I do it. I believe that I should take care of the body that I've been given. And I believe that I am better at everything that I do because of it. And I like to, I'm a fitness coach. I mean, this is just a part of it. Like, just realistically, on the days here and there, I always like to work out. I'm just weird like that. I just enjoy it. But I don't, there are definitely days that I don't feel like working out. And there are days that my, the food is always the bigger struggle for pretty much everybody. There are days that I don't want to eat as much protein as I need to support my goals. There's days that I, want to just skew my calories in a different direction and things like that. But the thing I would say, even above all the other stuff I just said, that keeps me coming back to it is the fact that I am by chosen profession, I am a fitness coach, and I believe I need to uphold the standard of fitness. I'm not some, huge jacked guy, and I'm not ripped and shredded, but I'm stronger, way stronger than I used to be. I've gained, between 50 to 60 pounds of muscle over the past several years, and just continue to get stronger and things like that. And I just, I believe that if I'm going to do this for a living, I need to be able to model it well. So if the other things fail to motivate me to do it those days, that would be what pulls me back. All right, let's see. Second question here. Kristen asked, she just says postpartum workouts, question mark. So she's just asking, what she should do after she has her baby, to maintain fitness. And since she asked about the workouts, I'll focus on that and not the eating. So what I would say to this, and I want you to, before I even say this, what I will tell you is you should always go by what your doctor says. First and foremost, I am not a doctor. Some doctors will unfortunately say they'll tell you to scale back on things, or they'll tell you not to to go and do certain things that may be actually okay to do because they're fearful of like lawsuits and things like that, which totally, you know, it makes sense. They're trying to cover themselves. They're trying to make sure that like, but sometimes they just may not be as knowledgeable about the fact. Like, I think a lot of times, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent here, but I think a lot of times people just assume that because doctors are so highly educated that they understand everything about fitness, and it's not necessarily the case. Like, you know, if you're going to an OB or you know, you're going to an OBGYN, you're going to a pediatrician, whatever it is, these people are not like, you know, for your kids, obviously for the pediatrician, these people they're educated in their field. They're not necessarily educated in like how to go about becoming physically fit. They know how to keep your health well. You know what I mean? And they know how to do it in their particular field. So what I would say is listen to what your doctor says first and foremost. If your doctor tells you not to lift weights, if your doctor, you know, for this long after you've had a baby, if your doctor tells you whatever they tell you, try to, you know, if it sounds crazy, of course, get a second opinion. But if it's, you know, for the most part, listen to them. I will tell you that disclaimer out of the way. I will say workout wise, here's how I would suggest you do it. Depending on if you had like a vaginal birth, or if you had a C-section, and even if it's the vaginal birth, if you had some like complications, like you had a lot of like stitching and things like that had to happen. In that case, you know, you're going to want to take a little bit longer. But as a general rule, I would say for the first very, very minimally 2 weeks, usually 4 to 6 weeks, don't do much of any exercise. Like, listen, your body is, you know, it's been holding on to fluids. It's been doing things, you know, to support the baby. So you're already going to start losing some weight in those first few weeks anyway, as your body kind of gets rid of some of that stuff. You know, if you're breastfeeding is going to help you actually burn some extra calories too, things like that. So you're already going to start losing weight. Don't go crazy. You know, you literally just birthed another human being, you know, in some way or another. So don't go about this like thinking, oh, I got to get the weight off immediately. Like, just, I know it. I'm not a woman. I've never had a baby, but I do have a wife who's been through this, and I understand, like, you know, to some degree how it goes. So I would just say that what you got to do, just make that first mental shift. Give yourself that first like month to just, yeah, try to get your eating well, you know, try to get your eating right, but like don't try to push yourself into workouts and things like that. Let your body heal. You very likely have like tearing in your abdominal muscles and things like that. You most certainly do if you have had a C-section, of course, because they've cut it. So you don't want to be, you know, trying to strengthen and work on like muscles that are torn and ripped. You know what I mean? So you want to give yourself some time to heal from that. After that period, that 4 to 6 week period, I would say start incorporating some core workouts, some body weight workouts, things like things that work your abs. You know, there are all kinds of different exercises that you can do for that. I would say just like pick some ab workouts that you enjoy. Some good ones. Look up bird dogs. Look up like the ab the like bicycle crunches. Look up just a few. Look up Kegels. That's not an ab workout, but you need to be doing those. Look up some different just like light body weight workouts like that. And then once you're recovered, you know, a good bit more, I would say you should transition to, if you haven't tried it before, some lifting weights. It helps you to, I'm going to say this and then I'll move on to the next question. You need to think of your body as a system. You know what I mean? When you work your abs, you're not just working your abs. There are other muscles that are involved with the stabilization while you do that. You know, if you're doing a cable crunch, your arms are stabilizing that. While your core is doing the active work and things like that. There's always stuff involved. Like, you need to train your body as a system. The best way to train your body as a system is to focus on the big lifts. You know, the deadlift, the squat, the bench press, the overhead press. Those are going to work the majority of your muscles. Those are going to work all of your muscles to some degree, and it's going to give you the best return on your time and energy, both in terms of strength, in terms of muscle, and in terms of calories burned. So I would say to focus on those. That's how I would suggest it. Take that first month to 6 weeks doing pretty much no intentional exercise except for maybe walking. After that, do some light ab work, and then start, once you get that next phase is different for everybody, but it's usually months down the road. Consult with your doctor and try to maybe transition it into some weightlifting if you're comfortable with it, because it's going to strengthen your whole body and it's going to help you to see the results the quickest. Let's see. Fong says, how often should I skip leg day? I feel like I'm not skipping enough. You should skip it. You should skip it every day, man, because who really needs leg muscles after all? Like, you know, I was trying to come up with just something to go longer and just be ridiculous, but I just can't come up with it. Don't skip leg day, dude. It's hard. I know it's hard, man. I hate leg day, but I actually don't hate leg day. I hate many of the exercises. Like, I'm not a fan of squats. I'm growing in my like for them, but for years and years I haven't liked them. I would say, you know, if you feel like you're not skipping it enough, skip it an extra day a week and see what happens. Let's see. Marcus says, how do you drop body fat percentage consistently and keep your motivation up? Man, well, that's really two questions. So I'm gonna answer them as two questions. How do you drop body fat percentage consistently? You stay in a calorie deficit. That's the answer. I mean, how that looks can be there can be a million different ways that looks like. It could, but you know, the most general thing I would say is to track your calories in an app like MyFitnessPal. You know, use an online calculator. If you need one of those and don't know where one is, message me, comment, whatever. I can give you a good one. Where you're going to incorporate like your approximate body fat percentage, approximate activity level, body weight, height, stuff like that. And it'll spit out a number to you to tell you, like, this is about how many calories you burn each day. So for me personally, I burn about 2,600 calories a day. So if I eat fewer than 2,600 calories, consistently, my body fat level is going to consistently go down. Okay. So, if I'm working out, that's burning calories. So there's two ends of the equation. You know, eating, if you're burning fewer calories, or if you're consuming fewer calories through your eating and drinking, and you're burning more calories through increased exercise, then you're going to drop the body fat percentage the quickest. And I assume, you know, you're probably wanting to gain some muscle too, or just like at least maintain what you have. Marcus, if that's the case, I mean, just keep your lifts up, dude. When I'm doing a bulk and when I'm doing a cut, my workout program essentially does not change at all. I may try to do a little bit of cardio if I have time when I'm cutting on top of it, just to get it done quicker. But typically I do the same deal workout wise. So just keep up with your workouts, keep pushing for more weight, reps, stuff like that. But consume fewer calories, whatever that looks like. Some people swear by keto. Keto is just a calorie deficit. It does have some additional benefits, but you have to be in a calorie deficit for it to work, or it won't work. Same deal with paleo, same deal with any like fad diet that you can think of. Some of them are really good. Some of them are really bad. Some of them are just like, but it's a tool. You know, it's like the internet. It can be used for good or bad. You can be on keto and gain weight. You can be on, you can be on keto and gain weight. You can be on a junk food diet and lose weight. Really, it's about calories, the body fat percentages. But you know, the health and nutrition and fueling your body the way it should be is a different thing. People think, is this a good food or a bad food? The truth of it is, like, that depends on what you're asking if it's good for. Like, if you're asking if it's good for losing body fat, the answer is just, is it low calorie? The question is just, is it low calorie? If you're asking, is this a good food for my overall health? You got to look at ingredients and things like that. It's a different question. The second part of it, how do you keep your motivation up? Man, I will tell you, this is one of the hardest questions that I as a fitness coach get. Like, it's the one that I used to have absolutely no answer for, because it's so, like, I can give you, like, I believe there are three parts of being a fitness coach. My job is to coach you through three things: knowledge, consistency, and intensity. The knowledge piece is to help you cut through all the confusion out there, focus on the plan, both workout and nutritionally, that's going to work for you. The consistency is us doing a phone call, me checking in with you, me monitoring your nutrition, all that kind of stuff, helping you stay consistent with it. And then the intensity is always to help you kind of reach for what's next. We've got a plan, we're being consistent with it. Now we're getting you to a point where you're getting stuck, that plan is slowing down or not working anymore. Now we reach for what's next. We never just kind of settle, because like, we don't have time to look into what the next thing to do is. That's my job as a coach, to coach you through those three things, right? But the piece of that I can't give you is motivation. I can't reach out, even like, I mostly do online coaching, but even if I'm coaching you online, or even if I'm coaching you in person, I can't, just show up at your house unannounced and be like, hey, like, here's some motivation. It's like you've got to find a way to motivate yourself. Now I can help you with that. And here's the best plan that I've found to give people to how to stay motivated. So I call it the baseline bonus plan. And this is something, I'm sure it's out there somewhere else. I probably just think I came up with it, and I'm sure it's out there somewhere else just under a different name. But basically, here's the way I tell people to go about this. So baseline and bonus. Like if you're struggling with motivation, the baseline is pick something that's going to help you improve your fitness level and or your health that you will do every day. Not can I do it every day? Not do I have the time to do it every day, but literally, will you do it every day? Think about yourself coming home from work, tired, whatever. Think about yourself at the lowest moment of the day where you're least motivated, and think, what would I do even then? And if it's the smallest thing in the world, if it's taking a multivitamin, if it's doing 10 beginner push-ups, if it's going for a 5-minute walk, whatever it is, no matter how small it is, if it's doing one workout a week, that's one lift, you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, pick that baseline thing and stick to it. If it's with nutrition wise, the baseline can look something like, if you drink a lot of sodas, it could be one less soda a day. Usually I'm more of an addition rather than subtraction. So I would probably take you the route of like, have one more serving of protein a day. Pick a baseline, something that you can do every day consistently, because wins, and when you have wins like that, and when you have success like that, and you prove to yourself that you can do something consistently, even if it seems negligible, forget what everybody else thinks. Forget if they think that's too small a step, because if you could just jump in and do it all at once, you would have done it by now. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be on my Facebook Live like trying to find motivation. You would be just doing it. So like, forget what people say, forget what people think. Pick something that you will stick to every day. Let that be your baseline. Then pick a bonus, right? So like on days where you're like, oh man, I'm feeling motivated today, like you still do the baseline, but then you have a bonus thing that you could do on top of that. So if your baseline is, let's say your baseline is I want to get one workout in a week. Okay, let's say you have a really good week, you're really motivated, and you're just like, okay, I'll do 2 more workouts that week. That's your bonus. You know what I mean? So like pick it like, or if it's nutritional, think like, okay, my baseline is I'll have 1 more serving of protein a day. If you are feeling particularly motivated that day, you might have that extra serving of protein, but then choose to, like, if you're trying to lose weight, you might choose to have like a big salad for lunch instead of like a burger, something like that. Just not because burgers are bad, but because you're trying to decrease calories. So I would say pick a baseline, something you can do every single day, because when you see yourself doing that, not only is it going to, have some results, even if they're small, but also you're going to prove to yourself you're doing something consistently, and you can stack that. Okay, you've got a habit. Now you bump your baseline up. Maybe your baseline starts out with 1 workout a week, and you're able to continue doing that consistently. And now you've proven to yourself you can do it. You feel a little more comfortable adding 1 more workout a week. You know what I mean? But then pick the bonus so that you can do that every week. And I would say write that down. My baseline is this. My bonus is this. Whether it's in your iPhone Note app, if you're on an Android, whatever you use on Android, write it down wherever you can. If you're more of a physical person, write it on a piece of paper, put it somewhere, move that paper around so you don't get used to it being there. You know what I mean? Have that somewhere that you can see it, and you can remember, this is my baseline. This is what I can do every day. So that's the best way I'd answer that, man. All right. So those are the 4 questions that I had. Those are the 4 questions that I had taken beforehand. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in. I see a bunch of people jumping in here. If anybody else has questions, let me know. I'll sit here awkwardly for just a minute and drink a sip of water. If anybody has questions, comment it. And if I don't see any, I will wrap this up. All right. Well, no more questions. If you see this later and want to ask a question, just comment it, and I will be happy to answer. Thank you, guys.